Track and field season begins for the Explorers just in time for winter break. Hello, I'm Jake Smolinski.
And I'm Brendan Rigney. Both the men's and women's swimming and diving teams performed well at Ithaca in the National Winter Championships. You're watching LTV's home for Explorer Athletics Sportsline. Welcome to Sportsline. Jake and Brendan here. Last episode of the winter season, and it's a good one.
Heck yeah. Later, we're going to take a trip down show history when Sportsline historian Ana Gomez joins us on desk.
That's right. But first, let's see what went down in the past week for our athletes. LaSalle's track and field teams began their season at the Jake Pirate Invitational on December 5th. For the men, sophomore Justin Garrett finished at the top of his heat with a career-best 35.63 seconds in a 300-meter race. In the 3,000-meter race, Andrew Gorsuch led the Explorers and placed second out of 7 runners. In the long jump, freshman Zakii Williams won the long jump with a 6.58-meter leap. For the women, Amber Jackson won the triple jump event with a distance of 11.05 meters. 2 seniors stole the show in the mile run. Becca Scardelletti took second with a time of 5 minutes and 15.1 seconds. And fellow Explorer Kate Conville was right behind 15 seconds later in 3rd place.
And the men's swimming and diving team competed in the Ithaca Bomber Invite, a 3-day event beginning on December 3rd. The Explorers had quite the time at Ithaca, finishing 3rd of 11 teams with 952 team points. On the first day, 5 Explorers placed in the top 10 of their events. On Sunday, LaSalle swept both of the men's diving events, starting with Dylan Urasitz in the 3-meter event. The sophomore kept the team afloat with an impressive score of 493.70 points. On the diving board, teammate CJ Gimple grabbed a first-place win for the LaSalle in the 1-meter event, scoring 459.75.
A few swimmers also competed in the AT&T Winter National Championships. In the 100-yard butterfly prelims, Jakub Bartoszewicz was just a second off from finals in 55 seconds. Senior Johan Roth also was just a few seconds off the finals in the 200-meter backstroke, taking a time of 2 minutes and 20 seconds. But the big news from the men's team was Matthias Glenesk, who has earned himself a spot in the 2016 USA Olympic Trials for his performance in the 1,500-meter freestyle. The junior took 12th place in the event, coming in with a time of 15 minutes and 49.74 seconds. This is just 0.25 seconds from Olympic qualifying time, and we wish Glenesk all the luck when he competes in the trials in June 2016.
Absolutely insane. Women's swimming and diving finished their long weekend at the Ithaca Bomber Invitational in 2nd place out of 11 other teams. In one of her best performances of the season, junior Caitlin Hay took 2nd place in the 100-yard freestyle in 51.46 seconds. Just a second behind, Olivia DiStefano took 7th. The freshman then competed in her best event, the 50-yard freestyle, finishing just behind her previous record set at Bucknell in 23.57 seconds. Sophomore standout Emma Smith clocked in the best performance of the weekend when she won the 100-yard IM in front of 26 other athletes in 59.45 seconds. For diving, senior Kelly Quinn placed 2nd overall for the weekend, besting 28 other divers.
The women's basketball team fell to UMBC Retrievers 60-29 on December 6th in Catonsville, Maryland. The Retrievers got off to a strong start and had a 17-3 lead early in the 2nd quarter. The Explorers cut the score to 23-15 by the end of the first half. UMBC opened the 3rd quarter with an 8-2 run and were able to keep LaSalle at bay for the duration of the game. Freshman Adriana Miller had a team-high 9 points in the game, while junior Micaiah Owens added 8 points and 6 rebounds.
And men's basketball notched their 3rd loss of the season on December 5th to local rival Drexel. Ana Gomez has the coverage.
In their 3rd consecutive loss of the season, men's basketball struggled in a contest versus Drexel on December 5th. The men entered the contest confident against the 0-6 Dragons as they took the lead, but it was quickly apparent that it was not going to be an easy game. Drexel retaliated quickly, and while LaSalle sat at a comfortable lead, Drexel closed in on the 10-point margin late in the first half, and with 5 minutes left, pulled ahead. In the second, things turned ugly as Drexel continued on their dominating path. LaSalle was chasing the Dragons through the end of the match, frustrated at themselves, as Drexel finished the Explorers 66-53. Leading the team in points was Jordan Price with 19. Cleon Roberts made 10 points on the day, and Rohan Braun also had a solid game, adding 7. But those efforts were not enough, as LaSalle now stands at 4-3. For Sportsline, I'm Anna Gomez.
Honestly, rough loss.
Yeah.
I was not expecting a loss against Drexel. For my picks of the week, I had a I thought we had a really good chance. Drexel, decent team.
They showed up, and LaSalle did not. That's for
Yeah.
sure. So.
But the thing is, though, why did they look like our team just looked so sluggish? And coming from our pacing that we've had in the past couple games, even though we've been kind of on a bit of a slide, there just needs to be some more energy out there.
They need the spark, man. They lack the spark right now. I don't know what's going on, but let's.
Who is going to light the fire for us, Brendan?
Hopefully, Rohan Braun. I'm saying Rohan.
That's
Braun.
what I'm saying.
Rohan Braun. Come on, Rohan. We believe in you guys. But
Looking forward to Villanova, though.
yeah, it's gonna be a big game. They are nationally ranked currently, as usual, and but LaSalle, I'm hoping will come out and compete as they typically do. So.
Our Sportsline correspondent Tyler Harper was just, yes, they shall be competing at a very high level against Villanova.
That sounds exactly like Tyler.
Yeah.
Actually, he does have an English accent.
Yeah, I know. I'm pretty sure it is.
But anyway, moving on to the weekly awards. First up is Zakiya Williams on the track and field team. He got A10 Rookie of the Week honors due to winning both. This is his first meet, by the way. The long jump and the triple jump, Jake. He won the long jump with a distance of 6.58 meters and the triple jump with a distance of 13.94 meters.
That's pretty impressive.
First meet, and he just comes out and wins both. That's obnoxious.
I mean, that was me in high school, but if I would have applied my talents to something other than Sportsline, I think that could have been me.
It could have been you. In an alternate universe, Jake Smo is just playing all of the sports and winning in all of them. That's something to think about.
Yeah, something to think about.
Moving on. Next up, we have 2 swimming and diving Rookie of the Week honors. We have Alexander Nikolic and Olivia DiStefano. Nikolic had 3 top 10 finishes in the 100-yard, 200-yard, and 500-yard freestyle events. And Olivia DiStefano had 3 top 10 finishes herself in the 100-yard backstroke, the 50-yard freestyle, and the 100-yard freestyle. We are killing it right now in swimming.
We have kind of this is what we've been waiting for. That they have had their spark.
We just talked about how women's swimming finished second at Ithaca and men's swimming finished third at Ithaca. And we also had our boy Matthias Glenesk finally is getting his due. He's going to be trying out for the Olympics. That's crazy, man.
Matthias, the unstoppable.
Oh, my God, the unstoppable. And last up, we have, finally, I was complaining about this a couple weeks ago, our boy Jordan Price getting recognition that he deserves a little later than I thought he would, but he got Big 5 Player of the Week because he was averaging over 2 games 28 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 3 assists. And we'll remember the 37-point game that he had against Hofstra, 24 of which were scored in the second half. So happy to see that Jordan finally got his due as well. But we have huge news in Exploring Headlines, Jake.
Oof.
Dr. Colleen Hanich, our new LaSalle president, she's wrapping up her first semester here, and she has announced the addition of 3 new sports that will be added to LaSalle varsity sports next fall. That's women's golf and both men's and women's water polo.
I don't know how we're going to be able to keep up with all these sports.
Hey, I'm going to be out by then, dude. It's all on you. I wish you the best of luck. Maybe I'll call in. I'll re-enroll as a freshman. I'll be an English major. So, but she said that it's going to help with program prioritization because she's hoping to draw more athletes here. And she said, quote, it will better maximize existing facilities here on campus.
That's actually a pretty good point.
This makes a lot of sense logistically for a lot of different reasons. So we'll talk more about this later, though, when Anna Gomez joins us here on desk. Next up, our last marquee matchup of the year. Isaac Perry educates you and us on the newly started track and field season. So let's check it out.
Another fantastic edition of Marquee Matchup. I'm Isaac Perry, here to tell you all you need to know about the upcoming indoor track and field season that just got underway at the Jack Pyra Invitational. The men's track and field teams are off to a fantastic and inspiring start this year and look to continue that over the season. The Jack Pyra Invitational was the start. There, the men's team finished the day with 4 top 3 finishes. The team ran inspired meets that really makes you want to go out, support, and watch them. They believe in themselves so much that you have to believe in them. If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader. And this team has plenty of leaders. But these two guys in particular are really ahead of the track. Justin Guerre and Zaki Williams. Every achievement, big or small, begins in your mind. Sophomore sprinter Justin Guerre fits that description. Last year, he finished third place in the 60-meter dash at the Jack Pyro, running in 7.08 seconds. This year, at that same event, he finished in fifth place with a time of 7.06, which is better than last year's mark. Also, that same day, he ran the 300-meter, finishing in first place in his heat at fifth overall with a career best of 35.63. I say that's time pretty well spent. Success doesn't come to you, you go to it, and that's what Guerre does. Alongside him, I also see freshman Zaki Williams making an impression on the team as well. An impact player from the start. At the Jack Pyro, he came into first place overall in the long jump with a leap of 6.58 meters to destroy the competition. The day wasn't over for him because he also won the triple jump thanks to a 13.94 meter distance to beat the 9-man field. That's what I call dominance and having that will to win. In the end, he was obviously rewarded by winning the Atlantic 10 Rookie of the Week. Williams is definitely one of those diamonds in the rough and a really big part of the future at LaSalle. Now that we touched on some individuals, let's see the two main things that have to happen for the team to have successful races. Number one, I like to say build on the momentum. The team had extraordinary performances last week from everyone involved. Now they try to aim even higher for success. Number two, apply what you know and continue to learn. These athletes must grow through what you go through and then use that knowledge towards reaching whatever goals they have for the season. In the end, these explorers are special and they will demonstrate it. Well, that does it for this week's marquee matchup. Don't forget the next track meet at the Great Dane Classic in Staten Island, New York. For Sportsline, I'm Isaac Perry. Go Explorers.
Thanks, Isaac. Great stuff there for track and field, hoping that their season turns out pretty well. Now on to the first part in a hopefully long-going season or series here at Sportsline, Concussed. Sports health is a very serious and real concern for athletes everywhere. And while the medical field has produced more results in the last decade than they have in the years prior, the constant fear of a career or life-threatening injury remains for players of all sports. Former LaSalle baseball player Mike McLeod is no stranger to this fear. While he did not suffer a head injury on the field, Mike's history of concussions off the field plagued his career at LaSalle until he ultimately decided to hang up the cleats and watch from the sidelines. I had the chance to sit with Mike and learn a little bit more about his struggles with concussions in hopes of bringing to light the very real danger of this injury. So how long did you play high school for?
In high school, I was there varsity for 3 years, JV for 1.
Is this just for baseball?
Yeah.
Okay. Did
I
you
wasn't allowed to play any other sports.
You weren't allowed to play any other sports?
My mom was afraid for me to get hurt, so.
It's kind of ironic now that we.
Yeah. I had a few sprains, a couple, minor injuries, but nothing really serious. Well, I didn't play my freshman year here. There were a few things with health-related, getting forms in and money is a big thing. But then I played in the summer, and then I came back the next year and made the team my sophomore year.
Now, what we're gonna get into the injury or injuries. Can you just briefly walk through exactly what happened?
Well, I've always, had a lot of concussions growing up, and I've only had one actually with baseball. But there were, a lot of times where just get knocked on the head the wrong way. I've never broken a bone or anything like that. It's just whenever I get hurt, it's a concussion. So that's always been a problem, and it's always kind of been in the back of my mind. And, if I played any sport like football or hockey, in the middle of high school when I had like 4 or so, they would have told me to stop playing. But since I was able to play a non-contact sport like baseball, I could continue. And even when I came to college and had a few more and it got up to 6, I was still able to play because, it wasn't a contact sport. But
6 concussions.
Yeah, now I have 8.
Good grief.
I've had 1 a year for the last 4, but 2 this year.
Now, which of those were sports related? All of them? None of them?
Nope.
None of them at all. How did you become concussed?
If
you don't mind.
Well, I don't remember. I don't remember some of them,
oh, wow.
which is I have to see a neurologist. I've had a lot of memory issues, but some of them, a couple at a concert. That's my fault. The most recent one was I swerved to avoid hitting a deer on the road, and I smacked my head against the window. And, you know, after you get one, it's pretty simple. You know, you could just sway your head a little bit the wrong way and you'll get one. It just, your brain moves around.
So when was the first concussion?
I don't remember.
Do you know what happened at all, or is it just?
My mom tells me that I was trick-or-treating and a dog opened up the glass door while I was standing in front of it and I fell down the steps.
How old were you when this happened?
Probably 6, I think.
And you've been dealing with concussions ever
Oh
since
yeah,
then?
and they get, you know, they get progressively worse and worse. Every time you have another one, it gets worse.
How did that at all affect your performance on the field in baseball at all?
Well, it's always in the back of your head. Like as a pitcher, especially, I'm 60 feet away from, you know, balls flying at me over 100 miles an hour, their exit velocity. I've been hit in the stomach and lacerated my bladder, had internal bleeding from that. I've been bruised up and everything, but it just makes you think, like, ball comes at you and if it hits you in the head the wrong way, you know, it could be bad, especially after 6 or so. The doctors say, you know, if you have a bad one, you can go, you know, serious brain damage.
But even with that fear, you still played baseball for as long as you could.
Oh, absolutely.
Is it just for the love of the game? Was it something like that?
I'm just very competitive. Just like, you know, when I did get hit in the bladder, that hurt really bad, and I didn't come out of the game. You know, just like any athlete, any competitor, you don't want to come out. So, you know, nothing was really going to stop me from doing what I wanted to do. If I got hit in the head, I got hit in the head.
If athletes were to come to you and they asked you, think I should go out and still pursue an athletic, you know, lifestyle.
So I'd say after a few, you really have to sit down and evaluate whether it's worth it, because you get hit the wrong way, or if you get hit hard enough consecutively, it's called second impact syndrome. If you get hit within that area where you're still having symptoms from the first concussion, you could really do a lot of damage. So I'd say definitely, you know, football, sports like that, if you have a lot, I would definitely consider, you know, hanging up the cleats. But I mean, I was lucky enough to be able to play baseball, and I still, knowing what I know now, I might have changed a few things. I might have not been so stupid in some of the the choices that I made. I wouldn't have put myself in positions to get myself hurt, but you know, I'm lucky that I never got a line drive to the head, because, you know, one of them and that could be it. Not even for a career, but, you know, for your life.
Do you miss it? Do you miss baseball?
Baseball, not so much playing in college, but I do miss being able to go on a field and, you know, strike people out, because that was one of the best feelings in the world.
Brendan, thank you so much for working with that segment. That was awesome to
Yeah, Mike is a very interesting guy, one of a good friend of mine. So we're hoping to keep this segment ongoing, find some new athletes out there that have been struggling with concussions.
Yeah.
But
well, back on desk we have Miss Anna Gomez. Thank you so much. I think this is the first time we're having all three of us on here in a very long time.
Actually, no, I think it was a few weeks ago.
Yeah, it was about a couple weeks ago, Jake. Oh, man.
But we have a big announcement here. We just talked about it earlier, but Dr. Hanich announced that we have 3 new sports. I'm really excited for women's golf. I think that should have been something that's been here a long time ago. I was really excited for that. Jake, what do you think about that?
Well, I think it's going to be great, because it's going to keep on fleshing out all the different dynamics we're going to have for us to cover, even and seeing how the men's golf team is on the upswing right now too. I think it's going to be great to see how the women are able to step in. And on top of that, water polo, I'm pretty sure Steve Graham will be on the water polo team next year. I know that he had a mild career in that. And, you know, he was just in the pool in his little skimmies and hanging out.
What do you guys, real quick, before we move on, what do you guys think of the choices in the sports? Because we have really good turnouts for club rugby, both men's and women's. We have a good team for the ice hockey team as well, and we have a pretty decent frisbee team, if you ask me. Yeah. So, you know, I'm just wondering what you guys think about the choices in the sports, real quick.
Well, I definitely think we should be taking advantage of our pool a little bit more. I'm really excited to see that we're going to be using our pool a lot more with water polo. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, that's actually a very good point with the, oh, yeah. Just answer the question right there. That's a great answer, Ana Gomez. Using the facilities a little bit more, so hopefully we can squeeze a little bit more dough out of them. Anyway.
I guess that's what this year's about here at LaSalle. So
It's been a roller coaster every year, everybody. But we are still as jovial and informed as ever. So, moving on. On Sportsline, we try to bring you the world of LaSalle sports in just about every which way that we can. Whew. But, Ana Gomez, what do we have coming up right now?
Right. So I've only been here on Sportsline for about a year or so now. But Sportsline has been on for about 18 years. That's a long, long time. It's a really long time. And from what I've seen, there's a lot of fun that happens behind the scenes and on the desk. And I decided to put together a little bit of a package just to kind of see what's been happening on Sportsline in recent history that we really enjoyed putting together and getting to be a part of. So let's take a look at that.
Oh my God! Can we get, is there a way to... Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Sportsline. I'm Brendan Rigney and alongside of me is Jacob Smolinski.
we have a great show full of your LaSalle sports, news, previews, and highlights.
The men's tennis team has been on the quit a lot since last week, starting on September 20th with day one of a 3-day tournament.
Collision cam with Jake Smolinski. So can we please get a roll on that tape? Here I am, just on the sidelines, just shooting, when all of a sudden, get smacked in the camera by just a layup. Let's watch this again. Amar Stukes, what are you doing? 3 men on you, straight to the camera. But wait a second, it looks like that defender is smiling. I don't like the looks of that. That looked like that was planned. That looked like they were out to get me.
That was by design, Jake.
That was always by design. I honestly have no idea what the heck I got nothing.
It was a crazy game, Jake.
That was my collision cam.
That was wild.
I loved it. I hope we get to see more of the collision cam throughout the season.
I will try to keep that in mind.
Please, please, please.
I don't feel safe with Jake. I feel like he wouldn't hesitate to eat me.
4th edition of Coaches and Coffee with the one and only, the winner, Coach G of the basketball team. Coach, how are you doing right now? How are you?
Not bad.
You know, I just
You're
kind of...
still searching
I am.
for your pizza identity?
Soul searching for pizza right now.
Your pizza identity.
American hash browns.
These are
not
American
Russian hash browns.
Not Russian hash browns. So I got to eat like a queen.
Well, who doesn't want that?
You plan on dressing up this year?
Yeah, I'll probably dress up. Oscar Pistorius, you know, the Blade Runner.
Okay.
Yeah, or
So like,
yeah.
are you gonna? Because he has the leg.
Yeah.
He's going to jail, right?
Yeah, he's in jail at the moment. So you know.
Well, I'm putting on a taco. You know what I'm talking?
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking
Well,
about.
this has just been an interesting conversation.
One of my favorite moments was when Bethany said banana because she forgot how to pronounce somebody's last name.
Okay, let's just stop talking about history for a second.
Okay.
We're gonna get really deep here.
Oh no.
Oh my gosh! Wow, so many great memories, guys.
Oh my gosh.
Especially
It's classic.
Steve Graham going as a taco.
That's
Has to be up
absolute a classic. Just the general context of that interview, talking about Halloween, and this is right after the whole Oscar Pistorius scandal, and he drops the fact that he's going to go as Oscar Pistorius, and then Steve just goes, I'm going to be a taco.
Very timely interview. Probably one of the best Sportsline interviews we've had in the studio in the past 5 years, I would say. A lot of great moments. Anna, thank you for putting it together. I got to say though, or ask you rather, what are your top 3 Sportsline moments that you cherish in your heart?
Well, the first one for me, at least, is a personal memory I have. Men's soccer versus Villanova. It was raining down. It was freezing, windy, and it was a 2-2 game when it went into overtime. Villanova ended up beating us, but it was such an intense game. The men played so hard. It was one of my favorite moments. The other one that came to mind when we thought about obsessions and what we loved about Sportsline was everybody loving on Kelsey Haycock. Jake's basic crush on Kelsey Haycock last year. She was a women's soccer player.
What?
She was just such a star here at LaSalle, and she was just our favorite here at Sportsline. And that was those are two my favorite team memories.
Yeah. What about you, Jake? What do you got?
All right. Obviously, number 1 has to be the Schuylkill memory with Steve Graham, because that was just that package never needed to be made. That package didn't need to exist. That was the stupidest experience I've ever had in my entire life, where we were misinformed, misguided. We had no idea what we were even doing. And so I think it kind of shows. It ended up being, I'm just so happy that Dick Pepperfield got to come out and we got to see Steve's alternate persona, classic, just throwback. But anyway, going then down to my other couple of favorite events, men's basketball homecoming this year was awesome. Their Sportsline person, Selena B-Mac, we got the chance to head out there for the Towson game. And just being there down on the court and watching Schuler throw that play together was just there's nothing better than being down on the floor than not only seeing the energy from the floor itself, but then look the crowd swings up and you're just oh, it's crazy. And then finally getting to see Kelsey Haycock notch some playoff wins 2 years back, right when I started with Sportsline and I got to cover the women's soccer and just getting I had to cut most of the audio from my packages because I was screaming over the top of them. So those are my favorite Sportsline moments.
I think those are some. I did not know that actually, but I can see it very clearly in my brain right now. Top three for me, Coach G interview has to be up there. It was a very special moment. Got to talk to one of the most remarkable people here at LaSalle, both in athletics and just on campus. Great guy, loves Will Ferrell. Strange, very strange. Another thing would obviously be when I did Coaches in Coffee with our good friend Cody Barr, who left just last year, which was very tough for all of us. We're still feeling that one, Cody. And didn't make the cut, but it's okay. Frisbee, I did a Frisbee package with my friend Tim Brubaker, and I just asked him, hey, how many plays do you have? And he just named 20 right off the bat, and I'm pretty sure he made half of them up. Pretty sure.
But yeah.
Thank you, Tim.
Before we kind of wrap up, I just want to do the best dressed of 2015 for Sportsline. Please take it away. Oh, no. Let's see. Here. Welcome to the Sportsline Best Dressed Award for 2015. And this goes out to a very special someone. Oh, Frankie Andriola. Just take a look at those luscious locks. Here he goes. Cowboy boots. The slow pan up. Showing off the polo tie with the mullet. And on top of that, just look at the way he just grabs those locks. Frankie Andriola, incredible.
Wow. Well, that just about wraps it up for this week. If you can't make it out to see the marquee matchup, be sure to tune in next week for our coverage. Also, keep up with this weekend and the breaks, other sporting events by visiting GoExplorers.com and by following us on Twitter at SportslineLTV. We post game updates and sneak peeks into the upcoming show.
Also, check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/LaSalleTV. We welcome you to send us your thoughts and suggestions about the show on either website.
For Isaac and our entire Sportsline team, I'm Anna Gomez.
I'm Jake Smolinski.
And I'm Brendan Rigney. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you at the game.